Hi, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. I have a project today for you, and to be honest, the project I'm going to show you, I don't know that it existed anywhere in the universe about an hour ago, because when I sat down, I did know I wanted to show you a St. Patrick's Day project. So I was pulling out things, kind of trying to find what I could make a 4-leaf clover out of, and I wanted to kind of do an Irish coffee thing because Irish coffee is my favorite. So I'll tell you, I have a stack of stuff over here that is not going to appear on today's project, but I was going to. I thought it would be cute to kind of like make my own little saying, and it was going to say, may all of your coffee be Irish. And I was gonna like make it out of this, make a different stamp set where you can kind of make your own words. Well, then I started looking for the clover, and then I saw this new stamp set had the word coffee. Well, if it's already spelled out, then that was one word that I didn't have to piece together, because that, while it's fun to make your own saying out of that stamp set, it does take a little bit of time. So then I thought, well, I could do this, and then I thought, well, this little piece here, actually any of these would work for a 4-leaf clover. So as my card progressed, it became something totally new. So this, let me show you. Celebration is 2/3 over. So this catalog here will be ending on March 3rd. We do have another one that starts, on March 30th. We have one that starts on March 3rd, and that's where this one comes from. So this one that's called Rise and Shine will be available starting March 3rd. Unless you're a demonstrator, you can get it now as a demonstrator. It's a real fun stamp set. It does coordinate with the coffee cup dies that were called Cup of Cheer dies from the holiday catalog, and you can get those on my website. So those are still available, unless you bought them at Christmas time when they were available. So that was kind of where the journey of this card came from. And I also wanted to remind you, that's why I have it laying here, otherwise I would have forgotten, that still through February, any $100 order that you place, that has done that will be in drawing for this little ladybug stamp set. So you have a couple days left still to do that. And then I had pulled out this stamp set, A Wish for Everything, because it does have a St. Patrick's Day saying in it. And I know it gets missed because as you're flipping through, it's in the beginning of the catalog, and as it so happens, it's on page 17. Makes it really easy to remember when you're doing a St. Patrick's Day card that stamp set is on page 17. Of course, if I could flip to it. My hands are green because I did know the only thing that is the same on this card from when I started, and I've changed everything, is that I wanted to use shaded spruce, and I have shaded spruce everywhere. So I know that when you flip through, you're like, yeah, that's a lot of words. A lot of times when it's this many words, we just skip over them. So I pulled it out because I did want to use St. Patrick's. And then as I had my card going, and I have 2 cups of coffee on it, I looked over at the stamp set laying there, and it says, may the luck of the Irish go double for you. So I did I used that instead of the St. Patrick's. But this is part of a fabulous bundle. So it does have dies that go with it, which are not shown on this page. So you have to flip back here to the dies. And I did want to pull your attention to it because this is a great die set. And it's great, but it just gets this tiny little box down here. So I wanted to point it out to you. It has St. Patrick's, Christmas, Father's, Valentine's, Thanksgiving Day, New Year's, Halloween, Easter, Happy, Merry, and Mother's. So just about every holiday, and they're nice size. You'll see them when I put them on this card. So that wasn't going to be in my card when I first started, but I will have the links for you to get those. And during celebration, great time to get those because of course you're going to get something free with it. Then I did also kind of like have a look through my designer series paper. There wasn't really anything that was kind of sprucey. So I'm going to use my buffalo check and make my own little background piece here. So I'm just going to use it straight on the plate today because I'm just going to do this one card. It's not like I'm going to do a little repeat. So I can see where it's going to hit. That's why my hands are dirty, because this isn't the cleanest way to use your Stamparatus, but it's the fastest. So I can see where it's going to hit. This is why my hands are dirty. And I moved my cleaning cloth over. So just put that there. Press it nice and good. And then get my shaded spruce, which I think is a really good St. Patrick's Day color. I love Ireland and I love Irish coffee. Irish coffee may be my favorite drink. And Ireland may be one of my favorite places in the world. And I've been to a lot of the world, so that's saying something. Okay, so just plop this back over. And I'm hoping that little piece of the snail is enough to hold that on here, because this is, I want a nice bold pattern. So it's gonna take more than one. I don't want it to look flannelly. I do want it to look buffalo checky. Yep, that held it. And you can see it's gonna take more than one ink of this to get the shaded spruce. But I do know, the first time I made the card, I wasn't sure, but I do know now that it's the outside edges, like the whole middle is gonna be filled up. So it's really these edges right here and all the way around. If the middle doesn't get inked up, that's not such a big deal because it's gonna be, look, we're already getting better. So let's get right there. Like I said, that middle part's going to be covered up. So it looks like I need there. Maybe a bit there, and then I'm going to show you a tip. This should get it. Okay, you can see there's still a few places where I'm not getting it. So because I happen to have the blend in spruce, instead of sitting here and trying to get just those spots, I'm just going to take this because they're bold, and I'm just going to add it because that's a whole lot faster. And then I can get the exact same ones. And in fact, when my card's all mounted, that's really the best time to do it because you can just see the ones that kind of are showing. So for now, I'm just gonna leave that. But this, like I said, is gonna, in fact, I stopped inking that part. But when I'm done, I will pull that on there. I'm gonna take this off. This is how I got my hands dirty the first time. So sometimes I'm a lazy stamper. I have a lot to do today, so I wanted to get this video done. This is why my hands get dirty. But the magnet doesn't fit when you're doing a whole background piece because otherwise it would stamp on it. But this you just wipe off with your, the chamois. Purple thing, the chamois. So let that dry just a second. Now let's stamp our mugs, and this is one of the stamp sets where you can flip them over. So this way I'm gonna get my faux shamrocks, or I could flip it over and have a solid. It's like the mountains that I did recently. I did one of those where you flip them over, and we've used that at camp. Got fuzzy on there. So first we'll get this one. And it's kind of the same way with the blends on these really bold stamps, because if something doesn't stamp well on this, I'll be able to fill it in. It's snowing pretty good clip out there right now. This would also stamp better if I had my little pad underneath it, but I don't have that laying here right now. So. But I did it the first time and it stamped pretty well. So this is all of the, oh no, it's not all the green. I gotta get my shamrock on here. So there's a whole one and then the one with the little dot. And I pulled out the one with the little dot, and afterwards I thought, oh, I meant to get the one without it, but I kind of liked it with the little dot afterwards. I have been on a search. As you know, I like my Rae Dunn things, and there's some Rae Dunn St. Patrick's cups, and I've not been able to find one. So there I have my little shamrock. And then I took my basic black blend. This is all of my spruce, so let me close it so I don't get any more ink on me. I took my basic black blend, and I just took the bullet tip, and then I just gave all of these little flowers a little shamrock tip. So they had a little stem. And it takes them, I think, from being the the flower into looking more like a shamrock. So you can, if you don't like the dot in the middle of that one and you want to recreate this, you can use the solid one. But there's a bunch of redone Irish coffee, kiss me, I'm Irish, all those kind of cups, and I've not been able to find one. So you can see right here where it didn't stamp, and it would have stamped better if I had had my thing underneath it. But you know, lazy. But with the blend, you can kind of just put this on here and fix it right up. And same over here, any place where it lifted up a little bit, you can just fix it. Or you can just pretend that you've had a wee bit of too much whiskey and your eyesight's not great at the moment. Okay, so let's cut all these things out. This card doesn't take very long at all. So first we'll cut the mugs out. And like I said, these are the Cup of Cheer from the holiday catalog, but they are available on my website. And there's a bunch of really cute dies that come in the set. So just line these up. It just takes one pass through. Make sure the static doesn't get them in my house. Oh, it's snowing even harder than it was just a second ago when I first looked out the window. I'm kind of over. I'm ready for spring. And I had thought about getting, you know, I'm done with Valentine's, but it is still February, but my house is still decorated for Valentine's Day. So I thought about getting my spring stuff out. And I thought if I did, that was a sure guarantee to make it snow. So I didn't. So I'm kind of glad I didn't. Otherwise, I would think that I was the cause of the snow. So this is our gold foil paper. And here's the St. Patrick's. And here's the happy. I am going to lose the apostrophe and the dot to my eye because they're just too much trouble to keep track of. And I don't think it makes that big of a difference on the card. So, and with these, I did roll them once and then back. I don't know that it made a difference because that's the way I did it the first time. So I don't know if one pass would have been enough, but this was perfect. So I just did it again that way. So make sure they come out. Okay, I just have a half a sheet of white, Whisper White cardstock. And then my original card, I do not have this piece of black. This is gonna be for this one. But I thought it needed maybe a little bit of contrast behind my coffee cups. So this is the one that says, may the luck of the Irish go double for you. And it's out of the word set. Stamp that down there, and then some coffee steams. Here. Get all over pieces here. You can see those just pop right out. And then I have some dimensionals to mount our cups on. If you don't have the dies, you could cut them, but I always so appreciate when the dies do this for you because cutting that is never any fun. And then mount this so you get as much as you can of that. And don't cover up your words. I was trying to get it so I could get as much of the buffalo check to show. My hands are really green. There we go. And this is the part that's not on my other card, as I don't have it mounted on this black, but I think it's gonna cause these, oh, and I just ran out of snail because of course, you know, only happens when I'm filming. I never run out of snail when I'm just sitting here making a sample. So we've got that. So we're going to use green glue from here on out. So I'm going to take this, fold it in half, which I do have the green glue here so I can put my words on. So it's not like I didn't have any, I wasn't ready for it. And then when you have done this with your background stamps, take them and kind of flip them around and see where's the best. Because, you know, it doesn't stamp perfect everywhere. So here I think I'm going to get the best look. And you know, when you use the green glue as opposed to snail, it's super sticky, so you don't want to touch it. But it also gives you, if you put this in the wrong spot, it'll give you get a second longer to remount it. So I'm going to mount this down towards the bottom. And then I'm going to mount this full piece over here on the white. And I cut it just a fraction smaller than the white so it wouldn't overhang, but it's pretty much the full size. So this is where it's, I know a lot of people prefer to use the green glue because if you stick this on crooked, you can pick it up. And if you use the snail, you're kind of stuck. So it appears to me that my card is not cut the right size. So I'm going to slide it over here so I can fix it later. I didn't measure the half card size. I assumed it was a half card size, but I think it's not. It was just a piece of half. I thought it was a piece of half a cardstock. So you know what? I've got my little trimmer here. Lift this up. And we'll just trim this off now. There we go. But I know that was the right size, so. Okay, now we're gonna put our Happy St. Patrick's Day on. And the Saint and the Patrick aren't touching. And like I said, I don't care about the tips to my, you can get all of the little dots if you want them. So you have the period and the dot. So like if you're doing, like if I was scrapbooking my St. Patrick's Cathedral pictures from when we went to Ireland, maybe then it would be worth it. For this one little card, it's not. But to stick these on, I have a bit of a brush. And then I have this here. Let's get some glue. And then I'm gonna start with the Saint because I want it to kind of be in the center. So just get some glue on here. And then that's just enough on here. So pop that on. And see, this is where you can move these. If you use another kind of thing, you can't, because I needed that over just a tad. And now the happy. And that's all there is to it. So here you can see just that little bit of black, I think sets it off a little bit more than what this one did. So there you go. I hope you enjoy that. I hope that you've noticed those sets before. If you haven't seen that, you can see those are a great size. And like I said, it has every occasion for the year, every holiday that's possible. So I hope you like that. Again, the coffee cup set will be available starting March 3rd. Everything else is available now. And I do have the special that if you spend $100 in February that you go into the drawing for the little ladybug set. So February is a great time to stock up on glues and envelopes and chamois and like refills for your stamp pads and the cutting plates for your die cutting machine. So there's a whole lot of things that snail refills that February is just a good stock up month, and then you get something free with it. So then it's fun to stock up if you're at least getting some free stuff on the boring things. So that's what I have for you today. Have a great day. Bye.